Nisabula, everybody. My name is Imagery, and today we're gonna see if we can finish off Carl's route and see what happens from there. So last time I remember seeing her getting crazy, and she tried to stab us. So unfortunately and fortunately, there are ways to lose this game. So let's try to make the best options as it is. Hopefully, get the good ending for Carl. Um. Okay. Also, I noticed that my playthroughs are getting a lot longer than expected, so I'm gonna set up a timer, I feel like 1 hour and 30 minutes would be good, so let's go. I call out more softly now because I'm starting to feel afraid of where I am. While I can't see anyone, the fur on my neck is prickling, like I'm somehow extremely invulnerable. I guess the only way I know for sure about this ordeal is that nothing is as it seems. And for some reason, I don't feel like I'm in a safe place. You would never hear from me. You know. Okay, so the last time I checked, that a tulpa thingy that was in Jenna's route, it has this exact same font. So I wonder if it's actually Carl or is it the tulpa that was speaking? I jump. Carl? The only response is silence. At least it sounded like Carl. Kind of. It was crackly and muffled, like it was coming through a phone. I start to jog up the sidewalk and notice that I'm stepping through the snow, like it's not really there either. You're not gonna hurt you. Who's this? The voice comes right over my shoulder and I cringe and I let out a yell, stumbling in my run to turn and face whatever just whispered into my ear. I stare at nothing. It had that same crackly mechanical sound to it. So I'm pretty sure it is the Salpo because it sounded like a radio um, voices kind of gobbled up. My bad, I'm gonna load the volume. First now standing up all over my body, and I rub at my shoulders again, hugging my chest. A soft sound, maybe a footstep behind me makes me whirl around in the other direction to find more emptiness. I stifle a whine and I start trotting up the sidewalk again. The place is dangerous. Different. Something about this place is dangerous. Isn't this your university campus? It's unlike the mansion or the cabin or even being next to that hanging guy. Something could hurt me here. Well, to be fair, Jenna did try to stab you. I don't know how I know, but I know it. Carl? My voice is getting more desperate. I've never felt more alone. Right now, more than anything, I just want to find Carl. You want me to be there for you. I jump but keep jogging, basically hopping with the way my leg isn't working at all. That's fun. The sidewalk starts to curve and I come up on the school's pond. I whisper to myself, fuck, where are you? As I keep walking, the ground no longer feels smooth. Instead, I feel a little pointed bits of rock sticking to my feet pads, even though there's smooth pavement where I look down at the ground. I pass a little stone bench, one that Carl liked to sit on back when he was at school with me in that first semester. I just can't, man. I wish, but every stupid fucking thing I say is so stupid. And it's not. I lift my hands up to my throat shocked because I definitely didn't say that. My voice is coming through like the others, muffled, distant from the direction of the bench. You don't understand. It's like I can't stop going over what I say to people. I just worry about it for days after. Well, just don't. Just forget about it. Uh, Seriously, man, no one cares. Just don't worry about it, okay? Yeah, okay. I turn around, moving back the way I came, not wanting to hear those voices coming from the bench. Okay, you looking around? Sideward branches off in several different directions, and I have no idea which one to take. You weren't there. What? I stand there a moment, feeling the panic starting to rise. Some cunt face. We're not gonna hurt ya. That's not Carl. That's not me. I'm hearing things. I close my eyes, hugging my chest again, stealing my breathing. Softer, clopping sounds come from my left. I open my eyes and immediately move in that direction. We're just playing. I grip my teeth and mumble to myself. I was a kid. What was I supposed to do? There's no response as I keep moving. A loud pop makes me jump and I cover my head. What the hell was that? Was it a gunshot? Definitely. I crouched on the sidewalk, looking left and right, but not seeing anyone. Was someone shooting at me? It had seemed kind of far away. Whatever it was, just sitting here probably isn't going to help me. So I stopped moving again, a little faster, have bent over. To my left, I see the football stadium rising up into the fog. I've gone there a few games, and a dance that they held on the field for homecoming. Dude, I'm not feeling very good. Want to go back and play something? Come on, I told you not to be like this. Can't really help it, man. Just tough it out another hour. Nah, man, I'm gonna head back. Alright then. Right, later. I keep going, whispering to myself to Carl. Is that you? Carl, can you actually hear me? No response. I keep going, listening for clops. When I hear them, I follow. After what seemed like about 10 minutes, I come up to a smaller building, one that path leads directly into. I slow my pace as I come up to it, staring at the door. I listen for a long while, but there aren't any more clops. I reach out and I rest my hand on the handle, then give a slight pull, expecting it to be locked, but it inches open smoothly. Staring for a while longer, I finally put the door open and find our own dorm room. Damn, it actually looks pretty decent. Like most things in this nightmare, it isn't exactly the same. Actually, it's probably about 3 times longer, like it's the interior of a stretch limo or something. At the very end of it, I see Carl splayed out on one of the beds. It doesn't have a mattress in it, so it's just laying on a flat board. Slowly, I hobble onto him, over to him. He's staring up at the ceiling, and I'm kind of surprised to see a slight smile on his face. Hey, Carl? Carl looks over at me, surprised. Whoa, hey dude, what's up? He laughs over the last few words. I stare at him. What? Are you okay? Actually, yeah, I kind of am. Are you sure? I move over to the opposite bed, my old bed. Yeah, for the first time all week, actually. Push myself up onto the bed, which is off the ground a good few feet more than at the university. My feet dangle over the edge. Is your ankle okay? I told you to wait. I just needed a minute. I frown. Seriously? You just left me there, in a place with smoke monsters. Carl grimaces. Yeah, sorry about that. What happened? I slide around on the bed to face the ram, noticing while they're tall, they're a lot shorter in length. Short enough that Carl's hooves stick over the edge. Well, Jenna tried to kill me. I rub my shoulder, looking away. Yeah, but you know she's not in her right mind right now. We're talking about how maybe John. Oh, it's definitely John. James tried to do the same thing to me. Yeah, I was gonna ask what he was like. Carl pokes at the wall. Carl pokes at the wall above his head, tapping it with his finger. Well, he basically just told me that I needed to find some stuff out, keep lies from getting out, that he couldn't tell me why. I wonder what's John telling Jenna. Carl shrugs. I mean, I can't be good if he's a serial killer. If he's a serial killer, yeah. Another period of silence. I don't mind it. It kind of feels nice. Not at all like outside, where it felt like I was in imminent danger. The only problem right now is that something smells kind of bad, but it's subtle enough that it's not really bothering me. So, we're at the university, huh? Yep. Wonder why. You hear the voices out there? Yeah. Things got quiet again, and I wonder what the hell Carl might be thinking. It looks ridiculously peaceful. Hey, did you find wind somewhere? Because you're looking as chill as I've ever seen you. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Carl scratches his nose. Well, I guess I just realized some stuff. S- Well, at least he's becoming less dependent on weed. I'll wait, but he doesn't go on. Like what? Well, Chase, that I don't need you. I frown. What? Carl laughs. No offense, man, but I realize that I rely on people too much. Oh, I thought you meant like you, I'm too toxic for you. I'm so happy that you just meant by that. I still don't really know. Did something happen? I guess I always sort of held it against you with what happened with Clint back in the day. Oh, the fight? Yeah, and also some things at college. But then I realized that isn't fair. Trousers, but I don't say anything. I realized that I'm really responsible for myself at the end. That I need to help myself. That's good. Yeah, that is good. I can't help but wonder if now is the best time for the epiphany Carl is having, what explains the setting we're in right now. I mean, the one thing that Carl has to realize, well, Carl, you have to realize that it's good that you're learning to be more dependent on yourself, but that shouldn't stop you from working with others. I'm glad that you're like resolving this with Chase, but I'm happy that you're learning to rely on yourself. But the main goal is to first rely on yourself, but then also help out people. So and also m- be fine with people helping out with you because no man's an island. He do this with his own. I'm so happy that I got rid of the spirit for him. Is everything we've been through the result of our own imaginations? Carl sits up suddenly, rubbing the bed. And that sick feeling like I have to do something important, that I need to be important. He turns on his butt to face me and spreads out his hands. Because I'm not. I'm not important at all. I'm a rich ass spoiled little shit and that's about it. Yeah, you're not that's not the only thing you are. You are a very talented art you're very well I for me I never call anybody talented because in my opinion that detracts all the hard work and skill they've put into that trade. Because I believe that there's no such thing as talent. It's all about passion and what you love to do with yourself at the end of the day. Because I personally believe that we're not predisposed to being that we're not destined to do something specific. It's about what we love and it's our willingness to hone into it. Because Carl is an artist and I believe that he's more so a very skilled and a more hardworking artist than he gives himself credit to be. Come on, Carl. No, no, it's a good thing. I'm happy because I realized that I'm okay with that. Carl smirks at me. I want to go to college, but I want to get an art degree. Then I want to get some job that I can halfway stand and play games in my free time. That's good. He stares at me and I stare back. Okay. Carl laughs again. I know this sounds stupid, but realizing this, it feels just good to be comfortable in my own skin. I haven't been comfortable in this for so fucking long. Oh, that's good. I try to smile for the ram, but I mean, we need to get out of here if you're gonna do anything. Yeah, yeah. It's weird that I'm feeling this way right now, but what isn't weird? It's so I'm assuming that like this haunted house is like a Silent Hill scenario where he has not only does he have to uh do what is being told of his ancestors, but he also has to be more confident in himself and everyone. Kyle reaches out to the wall again, feeling it carefully. Anyway, when I said I didn't need you, it sounded fucked up. And I still love you, man. I love you too. But I needed to say it out loud, I guess. I just don't need anyone to make me feel okay. I just need to be okay with myself, and I guess I am. I give a Kyle a weak smile, not sure what else to say. Sounds cliche, huh? But it's true. I mean, I'm just happy that you're okay. You ran away so suddenly. I had another panic attack, almost as bad as the one I had here. Kyle points over to the opposite end of the room at a desk. I came back from that stupid dance and I had a bunch of homework to do for that programming class my dad made me take. Oh, I feel bad for him. He should do what he wants to do because a quote lesson my uncle taught me for Christmas is that when you when you do something that somebody wants you to do, when you do something that people want you to do because they want, like when you do something that somebody else wants you to do rather than yourself, you make two people upset. You make yourself upset and you make the person you're trying to please upset because you're you're forcing yourself to live a lie, and then subconsciously you're making that person upset because they feel upset that you're upset. So it's better that you do the thing that you want to do because you're making yourself happy, and in turn, whether or not they're going to be satisfied with what you've done in life, it doesn't matter because it is about what makes you happy, and they will be happy for you in the long term. That is what a true person that loves you is. It's about letting those expectations go, because at the end of the day, they're another person and then you're your own person. I don't know, having that bad experience at the dance and try to figure out programming, I didn't fucking understand. Something cracked. Carl looks over at me. I got back home. Things were worse than I've ever been. The one time I dropped acid and then I thought I killed you. I make a face. But Carl waves his hand. Long story. But then I thought it was a sign that maybe you were the one that were holding me together all the time. Carl, I had no idea. Yeah, how were you supposed to know? I didn't say anything. And when you came back to Echo, I thought maybe I could pull myself together with you there. Carl grins. And after this hellscape thing, Jenna and I just got fed up with it, I guess. Carl shrugs. I don't know. I cracked again, but it's like a crack back in place that I just feel okay now. That we're gonna get through this. I like this the way that he said it. It's like I cracked again, but it cracked back in place because it's like breaking a bone. It's like you have to relocate the bone, but it's gonna be painful. It's a painful process, but after it's done, it'll be so much better than what you started out with. I finally kind of chuckled too. I'm happy for you. I really am. I just wish we could actually get back to Echo so you can feel better there. Carl taps his feet loudly with his fingers, then looks at me. Dude, I think we are. Hmm? I look at him quizzically. Carl runs a hand over the bed again. I just realized something. Looking at this place, can you see it? I furrow my brows. See what? This place seems familiar at all, because now I'm seeing something completely different. I squint. No, it looks like the dorm. Just a super long version of it. Carl smiles. Nah, man, we in the diner. You beautiful boy! You beautiful boy! You helping figure things out! We're in the diner. What? I can go on because as soon as I see the shape of the diner, the dorm room melts away like a mirage. That's so cool! I'm on a table and Carl sits across from me on the opposite table. Oh, oh. Carl smiles, stretches into a grin. I guess we see the truth now. So, we've been here the whole time? I gasp heavily, leaning on Carl as we make our way up the road towards the mansion. Looks that way. I think it'll happen in my house. I look around me in the darkness of the night. While the surreal feeling of dreaming is gone, I still feel like I'm in some kind of nightmare. Carl tried his phone the second we realized we were back, but it was dead. Here outside, no one is around. Though we did see a few bodies in the middle of the what? What the hell is happening? I think everyone's gone crazy. Oh yeah, it's the purge. Like in Leo's Rock. Carl seems to be mostly talking to himself. I remember seeing Janice run towards the street just before everything went to shit, and I'm inclined to think he's right. Should we maybe go back to Leo's place instead? Nah, I don't know. It's fun to find Raven and Jenna break them out of this first. I mean, she's still got that knife. Maybe she's come down. Then we can tell them and snap them out of it. Well, you think the others will come and find us or something. The fact that they haven't, Carl grunts in acknowledgement, but doesn't say anything more. Meanwhile, the mansion looms ominously in front of us, and there's no sign of Raven or Jenna in front. There's a tree we saw the body hanging, thankfully empty. I vaguely wonder if the newspaper clipping that the corpse ate is still there somehow. As Carl half drags me into the driveway, he hesitates. Listen, maybe you should wait out here. I'll wake the others up, then I'll grab the keys and we can drive out to Peyton. Get away from all of this. I life, despite myself. Yeah, but after everything we've been through, besides, I saved your ass when John went after you. I might have to do it again. That's a good idea. Carl smirks. Yeah, alright. But if he comes at us, I want you getting the hell out of here. Get into your car and get to Peyton. In hindsight, maybe we should have gotten my car from the motel and left that way instead. Carl shrugs. I would have come here anyway. I'm more worried about Raven right now. We're on the steps now, and Carl listens intently, his long ears poking up. He's dead silent. My heart starts to pick up as Carl reaches out for the door. Imagining Jenna, John runs out the darkness, knife in hand. Very slowly, Carl twists the knob and pushes open the door. Thanks to the well-oiled hinges, it makes hardly a sound as it slowly swings open. We've met with darkness, aside from a few LEDs from the TV set. Carl leans close to my ear. At least the power's still on. I'm gonna try the landline first. I nod as Carl as I step over the foundation into the house. I'm happy to see that Carl's kitchen looks just like Carl's kitchen. Despite the terrifying atmosphere, there's a relief that comes with knowing that we've broken free of the nightmare, whatever that was. Just then, a distant soft pop echoes from the town. We both look back at the moment, and I remember the sound I hear while running through Pueblo. Had someone shot at me? I don't have long to dwell on that as Carl tugs me into the kitchen, purposely leaving the door open behind us. He's probably more worried about what might be in the house rather than what's far away in the town. The van reaches for the light switch and thinks better of it. He leaves me to lean against the counter before moving to the phone. I look over, noticing that the table is set with a few plates with what looks like squares of drywall on them. In fact, the whole table is covered in dust that probably came from the crawl space. I frown at that because noticing a clear cup on the counter full of some kind of yellow liquid. At the same time, I see a piece of paper lying next to me, standing on the spotless counter. I reach out, placing a hand over it and feeling the smooth piece of paper, its size and shape familiar. I pick it up, looking around for a light source before seeing the fridge and hobbling over to it. The lion's dead. What are you doing, dude? I open the fridge, letting the dim yellow light spill out. I hold up the paper, which seems to be a copy of a newspaper clipping. It is the clipping! It's the clipping! It's the photocopy from the cabin. I whisper loudly. We see the boy missing. Native settler tensions rise. Fifth native boy goes missing in 2 years. Native chief says disappearances did not happen until settlers arrived. So there's like the whole colonial aspect of it as well. James Hendricks have been confined in the county jail pending further evidence. I look up at Carl. Wait, so was it James that was kidnapping children? Carl shrugs at me. I really don't know, man. I don't think it matters right now. He did have a point considering we weren't trapped in a nightmare anymore. I though still feel like something is missing. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I'll follow up and shove the paper into my pocket anyway. So the phone's dead. I think we should just grab the keys and... Carl's ears prick up. I'd do the same with mine if I could. You hear that? No, no. Carl moves over to the stairs. Stay here. I'll be right back. I shout whisper. What? I'll be right back. I think I heard Raven. I bite my lip. This new boost of confidence that Carl's gotten is great and all, but his serious complex is about to get him killed. Just let him have his fun. Just help him out. I followed around to the top of the stairs, watching him about to start downwards before jabbing him in the back with my knuckles. I looked back into the almost as dark kitchen before making up my mind and hopping down the stairs after the van. He jumps. Holy shit, you scared the hell out of me. Almost sharp whispers. Well, fuck you for thinking of leaving me up here. I told you outside we're sticking together. Okay, okay. Just hold on to my shirt or something. Okay. With that, Kyle starts making his way down the stairs with me limping behind. Slowly but surely, I start to hear something too. It's muffled and quiet and sounds very much like a voice. The voice is calm and reasonable, and I'm pretty sure it's Raven's. Kyle stops next to the door on our left, where the voice seems to be coming from. Wait, maybe I should open it. If Jenna's in there, it's not like she's going after me, right? Kyle seems to hesitate in the darkness. I don't know, man. Don't worry, you'll be right next to me, right? There's a moment of silence again before Kyle shifts next to me to the side of the door. Alright, but get behind me if she goes after you. I nod as well, even if he can't see me. I take a breath, steeling myself for what might be behind the door. Slowly, I push it open. It's always dark in this room, the weight room, I realize. Talking stops immediately before turning into a whine. Oh my god! And the door opened by itself. This is insane. I feel for the light switch next to the door and I flip it on. Yes, it's Raven, tied up to a weight machine with what looks like several pieces of clothing. A few pieces of paper sit on his lap and on the ground. The husky is staring right at me. There's no sign of recognition in his face. There's no sign of Jenna either. Thank God. Raven? Oh God, no, it knows my name. Raven starts writhing around in his bonds. Mr. Ghosting, what do you want? Do you want money? Honestly, I don't have very much money at all. I work at the mall. Carl pokes his head into. Hey, Raven, can you hear me? But Raven keeps babbling on about his job. Carl frowns and shifts past me into the room. I stare into the doorway, looking back into the hall, but only seeing darkness. Raven still chattering when Carl reaches out, resting a hand on his shoulder. The shriek that Raven lets out makes my fur stand on end. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! 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 Shh! Carl presses a hand into the husky's mouth, muffling his nose just a bit. But that's when Raven's eyes widen. Oh, hey, Carl. He stares around, wide-eyed. Where am I? In my house. In my weight room. Are you okay? The husky looks at Carl again. How? Carl shrugs. We have no idea. I look back into the hallway to make sure Jenna isn't coming after all that shrieking, looking back at the other two. So, so it's that easy. We just have to touch him? Carl turns to me. I guess it's like really just a dream or something. I think you have to like shake him. Hey, Chase. Raven is craning his head around Carl's name. Hey, Raven. Raven stares around at the room again. Wow. You know, just a second ago I was in a really looking fancy looking bedroom. It had a bed with curtains on it and stuff. Raven, how did you get tied up? Oh, Jenna, of course. Actually, she calmed down a bit and I brought her into the house, but then she punched me. Carl says so, untying the husky while Raven rubs the back of his head against the weight machine. And I fell down the stairs and she dragged me into this room and tied me up. Raven smiles sheepishly. Honestly, I probably could have fought her off. But facing a tiny, maybe serial killer girl with a knife is kind of scary, so I did what I could. That's okay. Do you know where she is now? I glanced back into the hallway, still nothing. No, she went back out. She did come back like 10 minutes ago, though, and shoved these papers into my face. Raven points at the papers in his lap on the ground with a free hand. Carl gets started on untying the binds around his legs. Said something about this being the real letters, the truth or whatever. I limp into the room, partly because I don't want to get caught by Jenna if she suddenly comes in, and also because I want to look at the two letters. They're short. One of them is about a paragraph. The only is only a few words. Because it's second nature now, I pick up the longer one and read it aloud. I don't know what to say after finding a dungeon. No, there are no other words for it. James, it is a dungeon. And after finding the boy's body, finding out what you've done to it, these truly are no words, James. Only know why you're never satisfied with me. All of your sweet words have turned to poison. I'm leaving you to the law, and leaving this wretched town behind. I only hope that God has no mercy on your soul. I pick up the other letter, placing it over the first. You are disgusting. I don't have James's letter, so I have no idea what John was responding to. I also don't know who to believe anymore. John or James, or even the thing that we're talking about could alter the notes left around in the dream state. There is no way I can believe to piece together who is manipulating what. But maybe because I'm in the real world now, and this is certainly real, this could be the actual truth. Also notice a collection of dust on these photocopy pages, taken from the scrapbook and stashed somewhere, probably the crawl space considering the state they're in. Is Jenna the crawl space right now? Searching for letters? Raven finally puts his feet out on the ropes, rubbing his arms. He nods at me. Said she wrote that one in jail after James had written to him? I gotta say, since the whole knife thing, seems like she doesn't know who she is. I fold up the letters, putting them in my pocket with the news article. I mean, she keeps on going on about James and letters. Didn't she say anything else about the letters? Raven frowns, looking at the ceiling. She says something about not being able to finish the game because one of them burned and the other got eaten. I put her hand on my pocket. Well, I found the one that burned on the counter upstairs. I don't think it burned. We just saw it burn. I think there's a tree outside in front of the house. But Carl shakes his head. Doesn't really matter now that we're free or this shit. Let's find the keys and get the hell out. Carl starts out the last restraints on Raven's ankles. I get up and limp to the doorway again, looking out towards the scroll space. In that moment, I hear a whisper of movement down the hall. It's Jenna. I limp out a bit more, watching as the two tall ears slowly materialize out of the darkness. For a moment, I see a young male fox in overalls in front of me. But that imagery dissolves as Jenna is slowly lit up by the light coming from the weight room. She's covered in the dust from the crawl space. I'm startled, but I'm not scared because I know she can't see me. At least, she shouldn't be able to see me, but her piercing eyes are right on me. She can see me. Maybe it's the fact that it's not Jenna at all. Maybe it's because she's completely possessed and it's John looking through her eyes. Whatever it is, she can see me. That's clear. Because she immediately raises the knife and bares her teeth at me. I don't want the others getting caught by her, especially with Raven tied up like that. I need to give Carl or I a chance to attack from behind, depending on if she goes for me or takes a turn into the weight room. She's coming! Back out into the hall and away from Jenna, hoping to give one of us advantage. She's coming so fast. Otter, you're in it on with James, huh? Her voice, rough and deep, like anything I've heard from Jenna before. I realize that there's no waking Jenna up from this. It's not Jenna anymore. And John is sure hell isn't waking up. And John lunges and I turn and run. Fox doesn't even glance into the bedroom. It comes for me. I limp and leap through the darkness, left hand stretched out desperately, aiming for the end of the wall that signified the stairs. I hear the fox breathing behind me, bumping into the walls. Finally, my hand falls through nothing, and I turn sharply to run up the stairs. As I stumble upstairs, I start to wonder what the hell I'm gonna do. Well, I could try and go for a bathroom lock. I hope there's not a choice. I can't stop thinking about the music that John's hanging top of eight. If I can get that, all the pieces that it wants us to do, then maybe I can end whatever this is. I'm about to interrupt as something cold goes on my back, followed by an even colder pain right up. I gasp as I fall into water. Continue. I can hear Carl shouting to his base of the stairs. There's too much distance between me and him for the ramp to be of any help. As I reach the top of the stairs, there's a loud whack down to the left of my hip, just as I stumble to the I quickly glance over my shoulder and see John yanking the knife. Oh shit, almost sobbing now. I jump, limp my way to the front door, hearing John scream curses at me from behind. While I want Carl's help right now, I also don't want him to catch. I don't want John turning on him. I struggle with the door for a moment, for some reason trying to push on it with the pull. It's only a few seconds, but enough for John to gain on me and swing with the knife again as I pull open the door. I scream and duck, hearing the metal clang against the door. I lunge forward, out the door, full of the early morning. Skies are soft blue as dawn breaks. I limp as fast as I can down the steps, down to the driveway, walking slow past the road. But John catches me again as I'm on the road, trying to grasp my shirt, holding on to me. I turn to face him as he draws a knife back. But at that moment, we go over the slope. Even in my adrenaline-fueled state, the fall is painful, and each time I roll, I can feel the stab of rocks sticking into my final bounce is punctuated with blinding pain in my foot as it collides with the slope. I shakily get to my feet, looking left and right for my feet, panicking until I'm realizing it's right in front of me. I stumble right into it, clinging to it. I scan the dirt. There's nothing. No prop, no people at all. Jen is getting up, just 5 feet away. I can see blood easing through several scratches on his body. The knife is still in his hands, and he zeroes in on me again. I cover and I move behind the tree, climb through. That's when my face comes forward. Automatically, I reach in, spinning around, feeling mostly spider webs and twigs before Carl appears at the top of the slope. Hey, hey, stop! Carl doll runs around. Knife raises immediately moves in the other direction. Ooh! My hand finds the corner of the tree, pull up a newspaper clipping. I stand over it. Another quote from Carl's mother. I begin to read, my voice crackling as I manage to shout. But I was able to open a box by James himself. It's full of jail letters between him and John. John freezes in his tracks, knife still raised, looking up at Carl. The side hundred me. But if what John said is true, James framed him of the most heinous crime in Echo's history. In the meantime, Carl stumbles down the slope, moving carefully around the fox to stand next to me. I reach into my pocket and pull out another pieces of paper. I hold them up. John, we know the truth. I'm going to tell everyone in my documentary, okay? I'm a journalist, a reporter. We see the truth. John turns towards me, knife slowly lowering, and just like that, it's not John anymore. It's Jenna. The knife clatters to the rocks. Carl reaches out to hold me and I collapse against him, everything numb. Then his hands go to her mouth, staring at the knife, staring at me, and calm before she screams. In the distance, I can hear sirens. It's history subjective? Is history subjective in nature? I mean, it is. It is very subjective in nature because um, history is written by the ones who have won. So, although there are a lot of bad people, although there's a lot of politics that are involved in the ethics of what has been done, let's say if the Nazis won, how would we see, if the Axis powers won, how would we see things differently? Like, would we subscribe to the idea that the master race of Aryans is true and their belief in the cult is actually is correct in that there are people that are just naturally superior than others? Like, if they're one, would we see things in that light, or would we see things in a different light? Would they demonize the Allies' powers? Would they demonize the Allies? Because it's also very blurry. Because um, our morals are also based on who's teaching us, our parents, and therefore, and from that, our parents are being taught by the schools and also governments, and you don't know what the agenda of the government are. You don't know what the agenda of the government is. Like they could be very like if you were taught, if your parents were raised by a government who is more so more so has the inclination or the motivation to just keep them themselves and just to only level themselves up, it's gonna be very different. So I agree, it is subjective. The story of James and John sure seems to be. All we had are a few written letters, and from these we must try to draw some sort of conclusion. In the end, it can't really be said what happened almost 150 years ago. Instead, we can only provide the facts. Several native children went missing. James was accused of the crime before claiming that his secret lover, John, was the culprit. In his jail letters, Jonathan claims that he was framed by James. Because of the vigilant justice dealt out by the town, John never had a trial, and no record of the evidence collected exists. James, because of his influence, was allowed to leave and live hundreds of miles away on the west coast, where he eventually died. He never wrote of the incident again. Many believe that as journalists, we're supposed to be unbiased and only state facts. That's not exactly true, as long as it's clear that we're stating an opinion. So I like to do that now. It's my opinion that John is innocent. We should have presumed innocent until proven guilty, after all, and Jonathan has never even had that chance. According to accounts written by other townspeople, James was a deceitful and emotionally manipulative man. There are many accounts of his prejudices against the native people. In the end, the records that exist of John give us no reason to disbelieve it. While James has given us every reason to doubt him, but because time is evidence' worst enemy, it had been 150 years, the definitive answer will likely never be known. Like much of Echo, the story is lost to its time. I'm Chase Hunter at Pueblo University, and this has been a special report at the town of Echo. he did his, he did his, he did his project. He did his project because in most of the scenarios, you don't see him. You see him. You fail to see him do his project because he's been occupied by so many of the happenings of the town, like with what happened with TJ and what happened with Leo. Thank you, though. Thank you, Masi. Sorry, my bad. I look over to the report again, eyes stinging from staring at a monitor for too long. I'm a terrible writer, and the words of the script seem so clumsy. I mean, at least I personally think that's good. You gotta start somewhere. I shrug and I decide I'll have time tomorrow to polish it up a bit. It's, it's weird. Writing the last word to a script I started almost 1.5 years ago. It's changed a lot since then, moving from a focus on hysteria to an old mansion mystery. My mind wanders back to the spring break in Echo. I still shake my head when I think about it. How completely shattered my view on reality, my, vi- my view on life. Of course, I couldn't come back to school right afterwards. I hadn't finished my project after all. Huh? Actually, I needed therapy. We all did. Except Carl. He seemed to have come out of it better than he had been going into it somehow. Everyone handles trauma differently, Jenna would say. In fact, she had a lot of things to say about what happened. While she didn't come out quite as scathed as Carl, she's still tough with it and actually went right back to school that summer. Now she's at Western and a lot of her research is focused on folie à deux, or shade psychosis. Because of how everything went down, the things we felt and what we saw, Jenna's convinced that that's what took place. She brought up the way we primed each other to hear and see things. The way the things we saw didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to what they were. While I do believe a lot of what we saw came from ourselves, I'm not fully convinced that explains all of it. Mainly because the rest of the town people went through their own nightmare that night. I still can't believe the things that Leo and TG went through. Still, I'm glad she can find a way to explain it to herself. She told me over the phone just last week that she hadn't forgiven herself, that she should have been stronger than that. I told her over and over that it's not her fault. But I guess after coming to with a knife in her hand and a friend stabbed, it left an impression. I rest my hand on the thick scarf in my shirt that runs all the way down my back and wiggles the ankle that causes me oh no, a permanent limp. Still, this whole incident actually brought us closer, at least for Jenna, Carl, and I. Hell, even Raven. It's still painful to think about how Flynn, Leo, and TJ, poor, oh no, poor TJ, aren't really even talking anymore. I guess it's the fact that we went through completely different things during the incident. Of course, we told the police that it was someone else that had stabbed me while the town descended into madness. Echo, a name now famous worldwide after the mass hysteria incident that truly brought a dying town to its ultimate end, at least in terms of being a failed town. While no one really lives there now, it certainly became a tourist attraction. Countless news reports, TV shows, and paranormal investigators descended on the area. I wonder if there's going to be a sequel where it involves this. I wonder if there's because I've read that there was a sequel called Arches. So I wonder if like the main characters in Arches are actually like people who are actually doing news report TV shows or what even paranormal investigators because that would be really interesting to see, especially once the news story changed from Sprinkling Leaves 9 Dead to Whole Town Went Nuts. Luckily, not a lot of focus fell on us since we weren't exactly living in Echo anymore. We just got into the ambulance and left. Carl, on the other hand, along with the rest of his family, are still harassed by the media. Carl's mom, Trisha, is a pro at handling the media though. I still wonder about what exactly it was that stopped her from publishing all her findings. I'll have to ask her sometime considering I'm practically family due to how much I visit with Carl. In the end, the relationship that I had with Carl in the dreamscape didn't exactly survive in the oh no. I feel bad now. Carl told me that he didn't know where he ended and James began, even when he rejected James's influence. We really couldn't trust anything that happened there. But still, he is my best friend and I plan to spend my summer over his house when I start my next project in Echo. Aw, that's nice. Yeah, I realize that there are a lot more stories to cover over there, and I plan to uncover them. What if in the future, like us, like Chase, like we actually go back to Echo? Like, what if in the sequel we come as well? Like, we come to Echo again, but this time we're actually going to solve everything once and for all. It's kind of like like how in the beginning the children like managed to beat up Pennywise, but then like a couple of years later they come back like with different lives, which is And like this is more synonymous with like this is more synonymous with like it too because of the fact that they all like they're a lot older than when they started out, and also the fact that uh it's them dealing with their trauma. It's almost healing going back now without any fear. My own little therapy. Guess I always end up back there. Eventually, you'll always keep on going in circles. The sound of claps in my right make me look up just as the bulky ram fills the frame. Carl! Dude, you told me you're gonna work on that tomorrow. I smile and rest my chin in my palm. Was just giving it a quick once over before we film. Yeah, yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm going for some pizza. You come. Carl! You're back into college! You're back into university! Please tell me he's doing an art degree. He's doing an art degree. I'm not really hungry, but I'm taking my mind off Echo for just a little bit. Sounds good. Carl always cheered me up anyway. I nod over to the corner of our dorm room, where Carl's paper mache sculpture of a tortured-looking bird sits. He's doing an art degree. Don't you have to finish that thing by tomorrow? Carl shrugs. I got it like 3 energy drinks in the fridge. I'll be good. Come on, let's go and go. I want to meet Caitlin there too. I get up slowly, stretching out my back. Oh, I see. So I'm just your wingman? Carl smirks. It's not like that, dude. I just like hanging out with her. Now let's go. I wonder if they're in a relationship. Carl hangs on the frame, starting to swing himself onto the hall. Hey, Carl? Carl rebounds back into the room, leaning in towards me. Yo? Ah, thanks for being my friend. I don't know if it was all the reminiscing about what happened in the spring before last, or if I'm still not over what happened, but Carl seems to understand. He smiles and reaches out a big hand towards me while I gasp. Of course, man. And if you need to talk about something in here, do you want to talk right now? I shake my head quickly. Nah, I'm good. I just wanted to say it. Carl smiles. Well, thanks for saying it. Now let's go. Carl again swings on the frame out into the hall. There's some loud clapping before I hear him shouting at someone and giving them what sounds like a high five. I smile to myself as I look at the document on the screen one last time. Before closing the laptop and following Carl out into the hallway, the ed. Let's go! Okay, I love the music. Mm-hmm. Man, this sounds like a beat that Shallow Dynasty will be on. Oh my god, the music is so good. Well, Carl, that was a bit. That has got to be one of my shortest videos for this playthrough. And Flynn, Flynn, my butter boy, I'll do you last. I want to see what the entire picture is. Because I'm actually glad that I'm starting to play this game again. It's honestly really well done. Anyway, Molamanda, see you guys in the next one.